Buongiorno. Good morning. How are you? Calimera. I'm Gary Alex. That's my brother Lee. We're doing another 2-hour creative challenge today. We're changing things up. Once again, we're going for something new, something fresh, something we've never done before because we're going to write and record a song in 2 hours and we have no idea what we're going to do, but we've got an idea for a vibe. So we changed out some microphones. We're going with an XY pattern on the overheads, which I never do, but I've got it pointed at the center of the snare. We're going to try to capture a stereo image of the drum kit like that with the SM81s. We've also changed out the tom mics. We're going with AKG 414 on the toms and the CAD M179 on the floor, which I never do this. So we're going to try something new today. We're doing with the side snare on the SM7B right there and the Biodynamic M21 on the snare, an Octava MKO12 on the hi-hats. It's right on the edge there. We've got the Smash mic. It's the Behringer omnidirectional reference microphone. We're putting that through the WA76 in all buttons in mode to smash it. And then inside the kick drum, just inside the port, is the Beta 52A. We also have a random microphone upstairs in the kitchen. It's going to be the room mic. We're going to see if we can get an SM58 to capture some room sounds. In case you're curious about the preamps and outboard stuff, on this recording we went with a kick drum mic plugged into the Chameleon Labs. It's the 7602 modified by Zen Pro Audio. We did roll off 50 hertz and below. We're boosting a little bit at 60 hertz. There's a pretty good cut at 360 and then a good amount of boost at 7K. And that was with the Beta 52 microphone. The snare drum was the M201, the Biodynamic M201, and that went into this Neve 1073 SPX. Just a little bit of EQ, a little boost at 220, a little bit of a cut at 700, and then a little bit high shelf boost. The overheads were recorded with the SM81 spaced pair through the API A2D. And what else? The side snare microphone was the SM7B. We went through this Blackline Audio B12A, and that is going through the Radial Engineering SAT2. That is because there's no output knob on the preamp. So I wanted to get a little bit of grit and then roll it off so that I wasn't burning out my my interface. The toms went through the RME Fireface UFX preamps. The first three right there were the toms with the AKG 414s and the CAD M179 mic. The overhead went through this Focusrite ISA preamp. I rolled off all of the low end on it, and then the Smash microphone went through this Warm Audio WA273. It's like a Neve type of thing, and that went into the Warm Audio CLA 76. It's an 1176 style compressor. We went with all buttons in mode and really smashed it. And then the room mic up in the kitchen, it was an SM58, and that also went through this Warm Audio WA273. And I think that's it. Maybe the hardware or something on the snare. A little rattle, you know what I mean? Yeah. We're going to tune the snare drum up. Last week we had it tuned really low for that fat sort of punk rock sound. Tonight we want something a little bit tighter. So we're tuning that up. We're also going to break out the double bass drum pedal for this. Try to get a different sound this week. Tuning them up. Planning on doing some heavy tom work today, so we got to make sure the toms are tuned and they sound good. Also, I've been sort of fooling around with the drop C tuning. So I've been tuning the Louise string down to C. So I did spend a little bit of time the last couple of days learning how to play in drop C. So it'll be fun to try something different again. Bass was recorded with this Fender Squier P bass, and the guitars were recorded with my old PV Vandenberg. It's got the reverse headstock, so I felt like this was the best choice I had for the drop C tuning to try to stay in tune. It does have a modified humbucker. It's a Seymour Duncan. I think it's a 500T, and yeah, sounds pretty good. The guitars were recorded direct through the Neve 1073 into this is the Neural DSP Archetype Nolly plugin, and we use the 5150. Not a ton of gain on it, and as you can see right there, we're only at 3.5. I did boost it with a tube screamer up front, no drive, just all level, and that was to really kind of clean up the low end, because we did a drop C tuning on this one and I wanted to make sure it was nice and tight. Bass guitar was also recorded direct through the Neve, and we're using a stock Pro Tools plugin, the Sans amp, and we're using the SVT preset, and then I just kind of added a little extra drive and rolled off some low and high end, and that's the sound. Also got a overdub guitar part. The third guitar track was recorded through this Fender Tremolux and an SM57 and a Sennheiser 421. So we're going to mic that with those two mics, a classic metal combination. And we're going to use the same guitar, the PV Vandenberg, and we're going to use this. My friend Brian was nice enough to let me borrow this. This is the Heavy Menace. It's a distortion pedal. It's got 3 different modes. We're going to go like super heavy with this track and just keep it panned in the center. And the other 2 guitar tracks will be panned left and right with less gain on it. It's another, you know, I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just kind of using techniques that have worked for other producers recording heavy music. So that's what we're going to do.